Breaking news. Celebrate, my friends. The Miami Dolphins defeated the Raiders, and I am very confident that our team will beat the Patriots too. If you are as happy as I am, hit that like button hard. But only do so if you are a true Dolphins fan. There are people here who have been Miami Dolphins fans since the 70s. It is great to know that you are doing well. Now we need to address some important points from the win over the Las Vegas Raiders in Week 11. This marks not only a critical victory for a team struggling to keep their playoff hopes alive, but also the first time this season that the Dolphins have won back-to-back games. With a 4-6 record, the team is firmly in the playoff hunt, sparking renewed optimism among fans and players alike. However, while the win is sweet, it raises many talking points, some exciting, some concerning, as the Dolphins approach the final stretch of the season. Let's start with the one that has all Dolphins fans excited, Tua Tagovailoa. Is Tua playing at an MVP level? That argument may sound like an overreaction to some, but hear me out. No one is claiming Tua will win NFL MVP, especially after missing 4 games with a concussion. But his sheer value to the Dolphins' success cannot be ignored. Since returning from injured reserve, Tua has led Miami to a 3-2 record in games where he's played all 4 quarters, securing wins against the Jaguars, Rams, and Raiders. His stats in those 4 games have been nothing short of stellar. An average of 240 passing yards per game, a completion rate approaching 80% and just 2 turnovers, an interception and a fumble, both of which came against the Rams. What stands out the most is his efficiency. Tua isn't forcing throws. He's reading defenses like a seasoned veteran, moving through his progressions at lightning speed and taking what the defense gives him. This approach has not only elevated the offense's overall performance, but has also kept him upright, with fewer sacks and hits in the backfield. The ripple effect is evident in the contributions of players like running back Devin Achane, who's thriving as a reliable outlet in the passing game, and tight end Jonnu Smith, who's emerging as a vital weapon in this offense. Speaking of Jonnu Smith, his rise in recent weeks has been remarkable. Since Tua's return, Smith has hauled in 18 catches for over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, both of which came during Sunday's win against the Raiders. Against Las Vegas, he recorded 6 receptions for 101 yards, showcasing his ability to make plays downfield and after the catch. But his impact isn't just limited to touchdowns. In the previous game against the Rams, one of Smith's 3 catches was a pivotal 33-yard gain on 3rd and 4 that set up a crucial touchdown. Smith's versatility as a vertical threat, route runner, and playmaker after the catch has been a revelation for this Dolphins offense. It's also worth noting how head coach Mike McDaniel has finally begun to unlock the potential of the tight end position in Miami. For years, the Dolphins have cycled through tight ends like Mike Gesicki, Durham Smythe, and Julian Hill without maximizing their capabilities. Smith, however, is a different breed, someone who can beat defenses with his athleticism and skill set, providing a dynamic dimension Miami has long lacked in this area. If this trend continues, Smith could be a centerpiece of the Dolphins' offense for years to come.
But while the offense is clicking, not everything is sunshine and rainbows for the Dolphins. A glaring issue has emerged on the defensive side of the ball, their struggles against tight ends. Over the past 4 weeks, Miami has been torched twice by young, athletic tight ends. It started with Trey McBride of the Cardinals, who recorded 9 receptions for 124 yards in a game that cost the Dolphins a win. Then, on Sunday, rookie Brock Bowers from the Raiders exploded with 13 receptions for 126 yards and a touchdown. These performances expose a concerning vulnerability in Miami's defense, particularly in their zone coverage schemes. The problem lies in how the Dolphins handle tight ends with a mix of physicality, speed, and precise route running. Miami's linebackers and safeties often find themselves out of position or unable to make crucial tackles after the catch. This trend isn't consistent, as evidenced by solid performances against other teams, but it's worrisome enough to raise questions about how this defense will fare against similar matchups in the future. Upcoming games against Green Bay's Tucker Kraft and other playoff-caliber teams with dynamic tight ends could put this issue under the microscope. Miami's defense must address this weakness quickly, especially as they remain in the hunt for a playoff spot. The road ahead isn't easy, but it's manageable. With a favorable schedule that includes games against the struggling Patriots, the Jets twice, and the Browns, the Dolphins have an opportunity to string together a series of wins. But they'll need to stay sharp, particularly on defense, to capitalize on this window and make a legitimate postseason push. What do you think, Dolphins fans? Is Tua truly playing at an MVP level? Is Jonnu Smith the weapon Miami has been waiting for? And how worried are you about the defense's ability to contain tight ends moving forward? Let us know in the comments below. Your insights are what keep these conversations going. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll break down the playoff hunt and what the Dolphins must do to stay in the race. The Dolphins' playoff aspirations are alive and well, and their recent surge has fans daring to dream again. With a 4-6 record, Miami sits in the thick of the AFC playoff hunt, chasing teams like the Broncos, Chargers, Colts, and Bengals for a coveted wildcard spot. While they aren't at the top of the hunt graphic just yet, this team has shown enough grit and improvement to make the conversation interesting. But what will it take for Miami to turn this momentum into a full-fledged playoff run? Let's dive into what's ahead and why the next few weeks are absolutely critical. The Dolphins' path to the postseason begins with consistency. They've already cleared half the hurdles they set for themselves after the loss to Buffalo, winning 2 of the 4 consecutive games they need to truly turn their season around. Their next challenge comes in the form of the New England Patriots, a team rejuvenated by rookie quarterback Drake May. While the Patriots have struggled this season, they showed signs of life in recent weeks, and Miami cannot afford to overlook them. A win here would push the Dolphins to 5-6, setting the stage for a massive Thanksgiving showdown against the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. If Miami can pull off back-to-back victories over the Patriots and Packers, they'll find themselves at 6-6 and firmly back in the playoff conversation. From there, the schedule remains favorable. 2 matchups against the struggling Jets and a winnable game against the Browns provide plenty of opportunities for the Dolphins to solidify their standing. However, consistency is key. There's little room for error at this stage of the season. One of the biggest reasons for optimism is the offense's resurgence under Tua Tagovailoa. Over the past 4 weeks, the Dolphins have averaged over 27 points per game, with Tua leading the charge. His efficiency, quick decision-making, and ability to spread the ball around have made Miami's offense one of the most dynamic in the league. If Tua continues playing at this level, the Dolphins will be a tough team to beat. Players like Jonnu Smith and Devin Achane have also stepped up, giving the team more weapons to work with as they face critical games down the stretch. But offense alone won't get the Dolphins into the playoffs. The defense needs to tighten up, particularly against tight ends and in zone coverage. As discussed earlier, Miami has been exposed by young, athletic tight ends in recent weeks, and this weakness could become a liability in high-stakes games. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio will need to make adjustments, especially with games against Green Bay, Cleveland, and potentially playoff-bound opponents on the horizon. So, Dolphins fans, it's your turn. Do you believe this team can make the playoffs? Are you confident in Tua and the offense continuing their stellar performance? And what changes would you like to see on defense to address the tight end coverage issues? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The journey to the playoffs is far from over, and every opinion counts as we follow this team through an exciting and crucial part of the season. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the Dolphins' playoff chase.